thanks me from Italy. Let's talk a little bit about adapting a story. So let's just make one thing clear. It's going to be some spoilers here. So if you haven't read the book and if you haven't seen the movie, you might consider skipping this one. But otherwise, wasn't that a horrible, horrible ending? Because when I read Inferno, I had already adjusted to that this was not going to be, the big reveal, and it was not going to be, this big life-changing thing like the Da Vinci Code, where they decide, nope, we're not gonna, dig up this thing that has to do with Christ. And then the angels and demons, they just said, no, we're not gonna, show this thing that Caramelegion was the bad guy and stuff like that. It won't be a good thing to do and stuff like that. I was just assuming that we're gonna have the same thing here, but it wasn't. You see, Soberist, played by Ben Foster, for a cup of coffee in this movie, he was basically, telling the World Health Organization that how are we going to save the planet if we don't deal with overpopulation? He was, telling us that everything, war and famine and climate changes, everything can be tied to the problem with overpopulation and the rapid rise of the number of people on the planet. We're simply are getting to too many people, especially in poor developing countries, which puts strains on resources and healthcare and stuff like that. And he argued that you have to do something. And the woman that Felicity Jones, who were running around with Langdon, and she just said a couple of times, how are we going to fix this? And Langdon doesn't have an answer for it, and he starts to talk about other things. He doesn't want to touch this subject because it just makes him feel too uncomfortable. But basically, she said that maybe we're gonna have to, start reducing the Earth's population in order to save it. And you can't do that unless you're a bad guy. So how would they do this? I thought when I saw it that this was going to be the finish that the movie would actually end up having, but in the book. But when they came there, they realized that it's too late. The virus has been spreading for weeks, which basically makes the books a little bit pointless, to be fair. But it just had so many swerves that I was sort of, what? But then came the extra twist. And the extra twist was that Soberist, he loved humanity so much that he decided that he wasn't going to kill billions of people. He was going to prevent billions of people from getting born. So 2/3 of the population in the world was infected by this virus that made them infertile, which would break the curve and wouldn't allow the rapid growth of humanity to continue in the way it had done. And I thought that when that was done, what a smart way of doing this. You gave us an ending that we didn't see coming. It had a conclusion that made your villain almost your hero, even though you could argue that it is the wrong thing to do. But he argued very well for his cause, I think. And when they decided not to do that, I just felt, fucking hell, what a cop-out. Because it was just something that came out of nowhere. You think that you're gonna stop the bomb, you think you're going to save the world, and all of a sudden the virus has been out before the movie even began. That is just such an incredible thing to do. The fact that they didn't do this, I think it has to do with the fact that they didn't have the balls to do it. I think that they were too afraid that religious groups and conservative groups would simply see this and say, oh, this is bad and stuff like that, and it is God's will how many children are born and stuff like that. You shouldn't interfere with people's reproductive organs and whatever the hell they would say. But I think they got scared, and I think that they simply decided no, we're gonna do a traditional ending. Whether or not that helped, I don't know. Inferno wasn't the big hit that it was predicted to be, and which was a little bit of a shame. I don't know. Do you prefer the book's ending or do you prefer the movie's ending? Kind of interesting to find out. I'll see you next time from so-and-so in Italy, by the way, reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.